Hi, host Eric here. I was talking with famous people. I'm here with host Nick, who's discussing with me a very interesting matter, namely one of my favorite subjects, talking with famous people. So I want to begin by just saying it's very fun for me to be able to talk about with this at somebody else's behest, and I appreciate Nick's sophisticated FE on that level, his very sophisticated FE on that level, and because um, for me to start talking about it myself independently, it just plays too self-serving and too narcissistic, even if it is an interesting topic, I think. And anyway, Nick, go ahead.
Well, okay, here's my initial thoughts. If you buy into the model, which most people who are coming to the channel by watching these things entering this room, the model for an ENTP says that they're SI seeking and they value FE. They want to be loved. So you can do a couple of things by, I mean, and that's interesting all on its own. So you say, okay, what is that? It means how I'm interpreting off those two things. If we do want FE, and it is true that we or seek SI, then it only makes sense that part of what we do is seek experience FE through seeking SI. So I don't know. You can interrupt me if that sounds ridiculous, but there is an underlying need to be able to reference the past where we can know that we were loved, or say, yeah, this is why that person loves me, or
Okay.
at least having clear understanding of the identity from referencing the past, categorizing it, and understanding what you consistently are doing.
Well, I like the idea. I want to flesh out the link a little bit and play around with it, which is to say, uh, the thing, I agree that SI and FE are going to have some sort of a link there. I would suspect that the SI component is using SI well, or attending attending to things in the world via introverted sensing successfully and well includes a component of satisfaction in the familiar. And,
Yes. Okay. Exactly. And so that's where I'm at. I feel a need for that kind of fulfillment, and it seems to be at least motivated by FE. Call that narcissistic or whatever. I want to know, because here's what is happening. I've heard everybody's view of me in that room, and what the discussion has been of who Nick is in the room metaphysically has changed. It's been all over the place. People even say, "Well, Nick, you know, he's a tough one to figure out."
okay,
So
well, I want to
that's
get into that too, but I want to explore the idea as we get, and I can use you as an example for sure. But if we look at the thing where you're saying, so
but
okay,
I think that's what I'm talking through is as far as what I think has happened. Yes,
okay,
and that's very
so here's the thing with the SI issue, we're looking at that's an epistemological function. So it's what we know that stays put, whether it's shit we've planned for the future that stays put, or whether it's shit we've done in the past that stays put, or whether it's um, the constancy of an experience over and over again, which is the like what I get from Denny's. Is not it's not a it involves no thinking. That's almost a pure SI experience for me because although I
well,
do have a
saying
thinking component to
require.
it,
Are you saying it's not performing anything necessarily other than serving and being?
right?
Is that
Well,
what you're
SI is a way of knowing, and
right?
usually knowledge comes into our field of vision, so to speak, when we use it for something. But sometimes you can experience knowledges that aren't useful for anything but themselves. And in that instance, you're talking about SI in its sort of guttural form. So if you take a shower, it feels really good in the warm water, you feel really like, that's SI in its guttural form. It doesn't exist it's not knowledge you use for any purpose, it's knowledge you experience. And it's the bridge point of like all these functions they work on both planes at some point there's a bridge point. Anyway, uh,
Yeah, but aren't you don't like wouldn't it say an ISTJ for example, be looking at what wouldn't they be being informed by SI? So then they're SI DOMs, right?
Right.
And ISFJs, I believe.
Yeah.
Because it seems like they look to the past in order to know how they feel and make a decision and things like that. Like it's mighty informative.
Yeah. Well, and the thing is, this is the challenge with dealing with somebody who's got SI high in the stack, like early in the relationship, like Kimberly, for example, where I'm just
That's
sort of
what.
trying to get to
Yeah,
know her, and she is continually trying to evaluate me using data from her past experiences that didn't involve me or the brief amount of time that she spent with me, because she's trying to build up SI so that she can feel like she knows me from having dealt with me in the past. Contrast that dramatically against the intuitive, such as you or me, who immediately starts extrapolating meaning out from everything and concludes that
what's everything? Is everything SI? When you
no,
use the word
I'm saying NE DOMs
right, but what is it
extrapolate
extrapolating
wildly.
data from? It seems like way you describe SI is just simply that data.
It's not just data as shown by the guttural experience of it, right? The guttural experience, which is it's not FI, it's pleasure instead of happiness. And it's on that level, SI, when it's way higher up in the stack, I'm sure that sense of satisfaction you get when you have familiarity, that it becomes rich and
But
nuanced.
that, but couldn't it be serving F, FI in that situation?
Okay, well, SI
Because
has to serve something. It doesn't.
that's
Well,
what
I
I'm
mean,
saying.
but look,
Well,
I mean, it
why can't
doesn't.
so
It,
when you say that it in
it's
itself is data and knowledge, but yet espouses
a
emotion?
manner of paying attention. It's a way to pay attention. Okay, so I can pay attention using introverted sensing. If I choose to turn my sensing introvertedly, what that means I'm doing is I'm either turning it introvertedly on an abstract level where I go, okay, these are things that have happened in the past, and these are the things that happen in the future, and these are the meanings I've already made, and shit that I've already locked down in my head, like the fact that this cost. Uh, I haven't locked it down in my head apparently, but it cost $30 a gram, and I got 2 grams, so it was 55. So it was 27.50. Okay, I know that to be true because I remember it. But the fact is, that's the key distinction between SI and something else. I did have to actually use TI, I guess, to
I mean,
figure.
that's why I feel like a lot of times the ENT people describe SI as almost in a TI.
Okay, but forget the 27.50. Let's just say this cost $30 and I remembered it cost $30. I do remember it cost 27.50 now that I figured out that I knew it was half of 55 and I had to figure out what that was. Okay, so I knew this, I remember this, that these two things cost 55 together. I remember that. Okay? The the only way I know that is because I remember it. I have no other way of knowing it right now. I'm not deducing it from anything. I'm not analyzing things to determine that it costs that much. I'm
Yeah,
not
but when you deduce something or analyze something, you're going off what you have to know what is true first and foremost.
correct. And so that's your epistemological function. So the SI says it is true that you don't have to think about this. You don't have to do any decision making about how much those cost. You remember it. And so when TI might call upon a memory for that purpose. But SI has a non-useful form too, and that's what I was talking about with the what I call rai rai. Rai rai is when you like are tired or whatever, and you get into something and you're uncomfortable, and then you get to the comfortable spot and you go rai 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 rai.
I
That's SI, and it's like pure form is rai rai.
feel like that's FI in its purest form. That's
No,
being
it's not.
being
That's because
turned
you
on.
are an ENTP,
Okay,
Nick.
okay,
You
okay,
don't fucking
okay.
get FI at all. You must be an ENTP. FI is valuing someone or something other than the self. SI
Okay.
wallow is rai time. That's all about valuing your just your body and shit, you know?
Yeah,
So
kind of. I think. I mean, for how it seems, it would make way more sense for it. It seems like it'd be more a more it'd have symmetry if it wasn't. It would have symmetry with the rest of the cognitive functions better if it was serving a more specific purpose rather than doing something that sounds like feelings. You can't really describe it without describing feelings, and the actual feeling itself could be very similar to something different. And
The
it'd
point
be
is, you're turning your senses inward. And when you turn your senses inward, you don't sense objects in the world, you sense objects in your head. Those are your memories. And when you turn your senses inward,
does any give you feeling then?
hold on. And when you turn your senses inward, you're not feeling the rough texture of this lid. You're feeling the sensations of your own body.
Okay, okay, okay. Right. But then your interpretation of it is FI. What you do with that, I see it as here's data, stimulus, and then what if that data makes you feel a certain way through introverted feeling? Then there you go.
No. Nick, look. Introverted feeling.
I mean, you guys see what I'm saying? It's SI gives you rah rah, but that's giving you rah rah because he blanket or whatever sent through your nervous system electrical impulses that told your brain this is a blanket, and then your memory part of your brain said you have nostalgia and good memories.
Okay, but hold on, Nick. Hold on.
Have this feeling.
Hold on. The point is, there is a definite distinction between physical comfort and emotional comfort, and between physical discomfort and emotional discomfort. And the thing is, where the border is between those two things.
Emotion's going to espouse from something.
Yes, I agree that they listen. Hold on. Let me finish the disclaimer. Let me finish the spike. I'll spike it, okay? Because look, the thing is, I acknowledge that physical discomfort can cause emotional discomfort. I acknowledge even that emotional discomfort can cause physical discomfort. But I point out that they nevertheless remain distinct because you can be in a great emotional state and temporarily uncomfortable physically. And
yeah, but also you can. So can you have feeling without any trigger for it? Without any
no,
stimulus?
but here's the point. FI works like this. FI converts pieces of knowledge into physical sensation of value win or value loss, but not value win or value loss like we think, oh well, I've lost value in their eyes or I've gained value in their eyes because I manage their perceptions as FE people do. But like when my dog died, value loss. Like I really loved it.
I see that.
FI is the thing that you could feel just hearing 3 words maybe. Your dog died. That can cause you to feel FI. It can cause you to feel vast amounts of FI, those 3 words. And why? Because your FI does the job of converting the words you heard and the meaning you now know into its impact upon you in terms of things that you value. So the only thing that FI does really is it either hoards or it grieves.
If I value intelligence and I value understanding of and also
those aren't no, Nick. You don't have feelings about abstract notions like that. You have feelings about people. If when you came in this room today, you felt a rush of a little bit of warmth and smiled, it's because you like me and you're happy to be here and you like hanging out with me. But we pay so little attention to that feeling because
that's what I was getting to. That's what I was getting to.
It doesn't seem relevant to anything that we don't recognize. That's all it is. That's all FI is.
But there's.
I can't hear you. You're cutting out.
There's reasons why I like it.
I still can't hear you.
Hello,
this should be better now. Is it?
Yeah, just give me 1 second. I'll be right. Yeah, it's better. So you talk while I type this response.
Well, here's all I understand what you're saying. I just have a problem with it because I think there's a stimulus that creates FI, whether that be generated from FE or not FE, but I don't know, any of the other epistemologies.
Uh huh. You're cutting out again. I can't hear you for shit, dude. Okay, I'll stop this video and we'll make another one when you get to the office. Okay?